I probably put it. If I stuck it at an 8, and then hopefully once I joined, then it can maybe turn into a 10, can
it? So like, what's stopping you from being an 8 to a 10 is just like you putting in the effort and actually.
It's the proof. Obviously, it's all good and well being shown what people are doing, but until you see it yourself and you've gone through it, then you can say whether it's good or not, can you?
And do you think anything's missing on what I've gone through with you today?
No, no, not at all.
Legend. What we'll do, I'll reshare my screen and I'll go through the numbers with you.
Yeah.
Very, very small thing. Just don't assume why he's not a 10. I think you sort of assume to a certain extent why he's not a 10. So just literally ask without saying, oh, is this why? Just literally ask, okay, what's stopping you from being a 10? Do you know what I mean? Sweet.
Yes.
There are 3 different packets. The main one is our Accelerate package, which I showed you the curriculum of there. It comes down to a one-time investment of 4K. All right.
Yeah.
So that is that one there. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. This one, I don't want you to worry about. That's the scale package. There is a waiting list for that. It's currently full.
Yeah.
But this is our flagship offer here, and it's everything that I spoke about. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I can walk you through the next step if you want me to do that.
Yeah.
Sure. So look, generally kind of how the onboarding process works is we send you over a payment link on the call, get that processed. Once it's processed, we get you onboarded into the community, into the curriculum, and get you booked on the onboarding call, get you scaling your brand.
Yeah. Is there any way you can send me that screenshot of that?
Sure. Yeah, 100%. I can do it now.
So
I'll send it to you on WhatsApp, mate.
Yeah, big deal. Cheers. And then I can. Obviously, I never, no matter what I say, so I'll never just go through it right away. I've got to go and have a think about it or whatever. But
yeah, 100%. Go in and think about it and do your due diligence. Just to kind of see if I can help them.
I obviously just wanted to know exactly what you were giving me, what everything.
Yep.
Just
100%. And when you do go away and think about it, like what's coming up for you in your mind that you want to think about, just to kind of see if I can help you.
Pull this off the screen.
Well, as long as I know I've got enough money to do it as well, to pull out of what I've got, or if I've got to wait till it fits out, or even with my OA, if I need to stop doing it in order to put all the time and all into this. A few different factors, really. I just like to mull it all over and.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
really.
And
I'm not someone who just goes, yeah, I'll do it, and then just sign up.
Yeah, why not? Cool. And when you're mulling it all over, like before you go do that, like, do you genuinely think this is the right vehicle for you?
Yeah. This is why I keep looking at it, and I 100% want to do something like this.
Okay. Ooh. That's great to hear. So, really, for you, it's like
this. What would that signify?
That other calls, maybe.
It could mean he's not 100% convinced.
The thing is in Discovery, he's already had a call with Rob the Bank, and he was like, I don't want to do Rob the Bank because they were very much focused on setting up in America. And he's like, I don't want to do that. He literally said the words in Discovery, I've been waiting for somebody in the UK to do this, essentially. So when he said that, I totally ignored the red flags given what he said in Discovery, but now that I'm hearing it,
well, you just want to listen, and it's hard when it's fast when you're on a call. It's very hard to in between the lines. But he said, I definitely want to do something like this. Okay, that's the second red flag that I would have probed into. The first one, potentially, you didn't do anything wrong, but maybe what you could have done is when he said, I never just jump into things.
I know.
Why not?
I know, bro.
What's honestly wrong with jumping into things? And I argue that he's not jumped into things. He's researched Rob the Bank. He's been in the market for a bit. Do you know what I mean? So it's not really like he's jumping into things. So anything someone says that maybe doesn't make loads of sense, I'd always question it. I'd always hold them accountable. Because there is nothing wrong with getting into things straight away. If you have all the information, if you feel like it's going to get you results, there's a clear return on investment, why wouldn't you jump into it? So you just got to find that data and figure it out.
Do you know what it is, mate? It's like seeing the injection handling. I feel like 5 seconds after I say something, I find what I should have said. You know what I mean? It doesn't come quick enough, which is really frustrating. Probably reps, mate. And
reps 100%, but it doesn't mean you can't ask the question after.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Tom, is there anything so wrong? I think that's a really good point what you just brought up, Michael, because I'm the same. But maybe we should be like just waiting the 5 seconds.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, let it come. Because I sometimes think that we all do this as closers. We speed up during objection handling, and then you're like speeding towards the end of the call. Because I do it all the time, and I kind of close down the call before the prospects even close down the call because I'm trying to go so fast.
Yeah. It's really, really easy to race at it, thinking objection handling is a job, thinking it's some sort of task that we have to get past, right? Thinking it's some sort of battle, but it's not, right? And closers don't do this enough. And I made this mistake when I was a closer. It's just not taking time to think, right? Not taking a second to just think, okay, what does this person mean? What do they actually say, right? It's very easiest to resort to typical word tracks, typical rebuttals. Okay, sweet. Yeah, do you believe in the process X, Y, Z? But what's going to really help you in sales as a whole, in discovery, in the pitch, and anything, is just taking a second to think, not assume, and think, okay, what did they actually say? Is there anything I can pick up from this?
100%. Yeah, I definitely need to be a little bit more like that and just slow it down. Slow the tempo down.
The thing is, it shows you're confident, and it shows you know what you're talking about as well. Because someone who's confident typically speaks fast, they typically assume things, they typically rush to conclusions. But someone who takes time to think signified as comfortable, signifies as not nervous, the authoritative figure.
Yeah.
You see those videos of Steve Jobs. He gets asked a question. Sometimes he just sits there and thinks for 30 seconds. Right? It shows you're actually thinking about it and you're actually trying to help the person, as opposed to just ramming yourself down their throat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. It's like any good podcaster, they take like 3 or 4 seconds to ask a question or answer a question or whatever. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So I think feedback so far is just listen to what he's saying and challenge his beliefs. But let's carry on.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes. Logistics of the OA business.
Just switching everything over and wondering what I got to do with it all, and
Right. Okay. When you're mulling it all over, like before you go do that.
a few different factors really. I just like to mull it all over and
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
really.
And
I'm not someone who just goes, yeah, I'll do it and then just sign up.
Why not?
cool. And when you're mulling it all over, like before you go do that, like do you genuinely think this is the right vehicle for you?
Yeah. This is why I keep looking at it, and I 100% want to do something like this.
Ooh.
Okay. That's great to hear. So really for you, it's like the logistics of the OA business.
Just switching everything over and wondering what I got to do with it all, and
Right. Okay. This is what I said. But how long do you kind of need to?
I have no idea what that means. Yeah, just switching everything over and what I've got to do with it all. No idea what that means.
They all say it in OA as well. It's like this weird, vague thing. Like they've got I don't even know what they mean. I think it's really
bullshit.
important.
It's complete bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So just challenge this person more, right? I'm not someone who just gets into things. Why not? What's bad about that? And I'd argue that you've not just jumped into this, right? You've been thinking about this for a while. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's carry on.
Genuinely think this is the right vehicle for you?
This is why I keep looking at it, and I 100% want to do something like this.
Okay. Awesome. That's great to hear. So really for you, it's like the logistics of the OA business.
Why? Why do you want to do something like this?
Just switching everything over and wondering what I got to do with it all, and
Right. Okay. Cool. But how long do you kind of need to go through that?
I don't know. I'll be thinking about it for the rest of the day, for definite.
Cool. No worries.
I just, as soon as I know I'm ready, I let you know. I'd ring. What's the best way of getting back to you?
Can I ask a question, Tom?
Go for it.
So I ask this question a lot. Mike, I'd love to know if you have the same mindset as me and I need to get rid of it. When I ask someone how long they need to think about it, in my brain, I'm like getting ready for the follow-up.
You're feeding the fire. You're feeding the objection.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Bullshit. Do you know what I mean? And you shouldn't be putting up with it, because you giving that validation puts you one step away from actually getting through to the truth. Do you know what I mean? Like if you say, how long do you need to think about things? You're almost subconsciously telling this guy that that's all right. Do you know what I mean? That that's a legit objection.
I need to stop that as well, big time.
I think, do you know what and it's actually, the pennies has dropped now. Like, I've done okay on this offer so far, and I've been getting deals on the follow-up. So I think there's a bit of a limiting belief. Just sort of subconsciously, maybe when people are giving me objections, I'm like, okay, well, if this person's like very confident, they're probably going to close and follow up, and I'm letting them away with a lot of shite because I have been closing on follow up. Do you know what I mean? So after rewatching this and just getting your feedback, it's definitely a limiting belief and something I need to get over.
Me too.
I promise you, there is thousands you're missing out on from thinking people are closing follow up.
100%. I know.
Let me ask you this: whilst this guy was saying he needs to think about things, did you honestly believe him?
No.
Okay, so
No.
you thought that this guy doesn't need to think about things, and it wouldn't be in his best interest. Like, did you feel like this was in his best interest to go think about things and mull things over? Which I fucking hate the word mull it over, by the way, guys. But did you believe that this guy actually had to do that, and it was in his best interest?
No. I was just using his words. I think he said mull it over.
No. I'm not saying for you. I'm just this guy saying it.
Yeah.
If you didn't believe it, then as someone who's supposed to hold people accountable, shift beliefs, and really get people to make the best decisions they can, then why did you agree with it and make it seem like it was the right thing to do?
I think it was the limiting belief of I kind of see where he's coming from, but and also thinking that.
Can you see where he's coming from though? Because it's either one of two things. He's either scared or he doesn't believe this is going to get him to where he wants to go. And fair enough if he doesn't believe he's going to get where he wants to go. But if he's scared, you are doing him a disservice by letting him off the call and saying, yeah, that's fine. I completely understand that. I don't fucking understand why he needs to do that. So I wouldn't say it. You know what I mean? So I think part of objection handling is just being true to yourself, being ruthlessly authentic, even if it's a bit awkward and even if maybe you feel like you're going to burn the lead. But at least you're holding this guy accountable, being truthful. I'd fucking hate you to come on these team meetings and lie to me to make me feel good, or say my management is good even if it's not. Do you know what I mean? I fucking hate that because I'm being lied to. So it's the exact same as on sales calls. I wouldn't say, I know what you mean. Yeah, that's completely fine. When you mull it over, challenge these people.
Yeah, I think.
Why do you not?
Better.
Why do you need to think about things? Why can't you just jump into something? These are all very valid points that you should ask. Because now what's going to happen is anytime, I'm going on a bit of a monologue here, but anytime this guy makes a decision, he's convinced that he needs to get away from the pain, run away from the fear, not face things straight on. And maybe that belief is going to transfer in other parts of his life. I don't know, maybe when he's having a conversation with his girlfriend that's really tough, that maybe he's been put on off for ages, maybe that belief that you've not handled is going to stop him from having a really important conversation with his girlfriend. Quite far-fetched, but can you see how you not handling this objection and this belief is potentially affecting this guy in ways you wouldn't even imagine?
100%. Yeah. I appreciate the feedback. That's good. That's really good.
So, based on that, what do you feel like you could have done better on this call? And what do you feel like you should have changed?
Well, I just chunked it down and understanding, like, what the fuck does it actually mean? Because it was all just bullshit in hindsight. Like, when you say you need to work out the logistics of the OA business, like, what do you mean by that?
Okay.
And then, as you mentioned, I don't dive straight into things. Like, well, why? I'd argue that you're not diving straight into things, as you mentioned. But I like that, like, you've been on calls to rob the bank, you've done OA, like, you understand that e-commerce as a platform works. Like, you're on this call today to make change. You said you can't wait around any longer. So, all due respect, you're not just jumping into things. And just probe deeper and chunk down and essentially look to shift the mindset to take action on the call.
Yeah, 100%. But you can sort of see it on his face, right? You can sort of see that, like, sort of like, not cocky, but smiley, like, yeah, I gotta mull things over. I never jump into things. It's his ego speaking. He doesn't want to admit that he's a bit scared, that maybe he's a bit uncertain, right? So without challenging that, you're not going to know.
That's the way we all talk round here.
Yeah, as soon as I heard it, I was like, whoa. I think at the top of the call, I was like, yeah, I have a colleague that that used to sound like you, and then he got, more gentrified. And it's it. But yeah, Tom, appreciate the feedback, mate. That was good to kind of go over. Any of you lads have any other feedback?
Yeah, I agree with Tom. I hate when they say mull it over. It's just become a pet peeve since getting into sales. Let me think about it. It's fine. Like, mull it over. Like, there's some profound wise owl that needs to make.
They're not going to be on their porch on a rocking chair, just like puffing on a pipe, just thinking about things. They're not fucking going to think about it.
Did Ed Love get that from you, Tom?
Pardon?
When you go say to them, so Tom, before you go with a big old Cuban cigar in your armchair on the veranda, thinking about whether I'm going to do this or not.
Yeah.
You got that from you, did he?
I'm 90% sure in Cape Town, yeah. But yeah, I think what it stems from, sorry to interrupt you, what it stems from, and I've said this multiple times, is holding each other accountable and saying tough things. I think you guys should really get in the habit of just trying to find bullshit in everyday life, right? I was late to this call. I was the first one to say I was going to do press-ups. You guys should have been like, Tom, you're late. Do some fucking press-ups. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to make it easy for you guys.
100%. On other calls and different offers, have pre-framed, like, at the end of this call, if you love what you hear, everything aligns, are we cool to stick to a heck yeah? And if you feel like this is the worst thing you've ever heard, are we cool to stick to a heck no? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. But if they're like, no, I don't generally make decisions on the calls, then I kind of go through it then and chunk it down and be like, well, look, have you ever done that on calls? Have you ever kind of gone through that briefing?
Never works.
I don't know.
I thought it actually it does work.
I used to have to.
Clearly doesn't.
Huh?
Clearly doesn't. This guy's fucking mulling it over whilst we speak.
Yeah, no, but I didn't. That's what I'm saying. I didn't use that on this call. I didn't like pre-frame it. Like after discoveries, I would have asked that question. Like before going into pitch.
Sorry, Zane, go for it. I know.
No. I think one thing about this space that's beautiful is that some things work for some and other things work for others. So I'm not going to tell Michael it couldn't possibly work. And you've already said that it has worked, which is fucking great. But when I've done it in the past, it created this like huge this huge distraction in the middle of my discovery. So that's why I stopped doing it. But like, if it works, then fucking.
Well, it's sort of, for some people, it sort of prefaces that I'm going to get fucking hard sold. So they put their guard up, right? If you say, yeah, bro, like, you're going to make a decision at the end of the call, they're not going to be as honest and they're not going to feel as comfortable because they feel like they're going to get attacked and pounced on at the end of the call. That's what I think anyway. And I also think that you saying, yeah, you've got to make a decision at the end of the call is sort of just like outsourcing responsibility for holding them accountable at the end of the call.
Yeah, okay. I get you. But you can kind of, my thoughts on it are like, you can kind of hold them accountable. You're like, okay, you agreed to either giving me a yes or no and not being in this maybe of where nothing happens, you create no action, you create no urgency, like you're actually getting to your goals. So, you agreed earlier on, you give me a clear cut yes or no, and like now we don't have that alignment. So if you're honest with me, bro, like, what's going on? Like, what do you feel uncertain about? And I feel like it's a nice way of tying it back. But yeah, I mean,
you can. I'm personally not really a big advocate of that way. But yeah,
that's cool. I just wanted to kind of get your opinion up.
And so, like, what happens to my brain is I start believing, like, in the prospect and their bullshit more and more and more as I don't close. And so I think for myself, and I hope it helps you as well. If it doesn't, that's 100% cool. But for myself, it's like, I've got a call in 15 minutes. I feel that you have to like delusionally believe that everybody that you speak to is going to close. And so then when they give you that weird bullshit objection, you genuinely feel curious about why would you want to mull this over? But I think what we've started to do as guys who have closed a lot of follow-ups, we've started to believe that, yeah, mulling it over makes sense, decompressing makes sense.
Yeah.
But it actually doesn't. The guy said to me, I want to decompress.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Bro.
Bro, I'd fucking laugh at that, you know. I'd be like, what?
What did I just do to you that you need to decompress?
Fucking hell.
Yeah, but I let
crazy.
it slide because you get into the mindset of maybe that does make sense, and we've got to try to not get told by our prospects as well. You know,
100%.
It's all fucking bullshit, honestly. And I think what we should do today, call me out if you don't think so, but I'll call you guys back out because I do think so, is I think we should make it a really big priority. Every person who gives you some fucking bullshit objection that you know deep down isn't true, hold these people accountable. Even if you feel like it might burn them. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I prefer you don't close a deal and you really try and change someone's life than get them in the follow-up. Honestly, and that sounds weird. I honestly, because it's going to benefit you guys as people. Like the skill set of having the courage of just saying, that's fucking bullshit is such a skill set to have.
Yeah. That's my focus for today. I'm trying to close. That's what we're here for. But I want to end the day knowing that I held like 3 to 4 people accountable, because even coming onto this call and saying, "Oh, I've looked at some things and they've got under 2K," that's me preparing myself to not fucking close.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy anymore.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. So yeah, man. I don't care if they've got £1. I'm gonna end the day knowing that I held people accountable for sure.
Fucking love that. I fucking love that. Tom, you're on mute.
I just want to speak a little bit on accountability. I don't want to derail the meeting by any chance, but just as a team, I should have said this up front at the beginning of the meeting, but I'll say it now before the end. I've been struggling to get into the gym, and if you conquer the morning, then you conquer the day. So, as a team, might I ask that we all please keep me accountable to going to the gym?
Go to the gym,
Yes, sir.
Get in.
Because if ever we meet in person, I
when?
want you to be impressed, almost scared actually.
When's it scheduled in?
Let me tell you right now, it's not.
There's your first problem.
That's my first problem.
I tell you what, let's fucking do this. Let's all set a goal for tomorrow's meeting. It could be to do with closing. It could be to do with anything. And if we don't do it, we're getting fucking earful by everyone tomorrow. Would that be fair?
100%, yeah.
Right. So what is something everyone's been putting off that they just know?
Mine's not so much putting it off, but it's a real thorn in my side is going to the gym in the evening rather than the morning. Like actually getting up and getting into the gym before the day starts. So that is my goal. I'm gonna go to the gym in the evening, but I'm gonna go in the morning before our team meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, mine is what I just said. Just I want to give you multiple examples of where someone gave me bullshit and I called it out, whether I closed them or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go that one too. Have 2 goals.
Yep, sweet. Tom, what's your goal for tomorrow?
That's what my goal is, to be in the gym, but in the morning.
Okay, so a gym session today and a gym session before the morning team meeting tomorrow. Would that be fair or not?
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Let's get it, bro. Let's get jacked. Get on that crazy.
I just want to say, boys, this is a bit of a sales joke, but it's what my old man told me. He said a man went to the doctor once, and he said, "Doctor, I can't say my F's and TH's." The doctor said, "Well, you can't say fairer than that, then."
Very good. What's your goal, Tom Hyder?
My goal is something I've been putting off. Is I've been going to the gym, but I fucking find it so fucking boring. So I sort of just get in and get out in 25 minutes. So what I'm committing
25?
Yeah, bro. I'll do 4 sets. No, I'll do 3 sets, 4 exercises, and then just bounce. So my goal and thing that I'm going to get held accountable to is from now on, I'm going to go for no earlier than 45 minutes or 3 sets, 6 exercises. I think. Yeah.
Get it cracking. All right, boys.
We'll give Hyder a hiding.
What? Dad joke? Is that a dad joke?
Yeah, that's another dad joke. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. All right, lads, have a really good day. Crush it. Let's
Cheers,
hold some-
boys.
See you soon, boys. Bye.